Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Source Wisdom podcast. And I'm so excited to have you here today because it's the weird in between week between Christmas and New Year, New Year being tomorrow. Or will you be listening? It depends on if we intuit if we should upload it today, or it will be tomorrow when New Year's Eve is. So, depending on that, Happy New Year! And of course, we had to do the topic about holidays today because there is so much pressure on it, so much emotional pressure, expectations, like old wounds, self judgment, all of that is coming up, especially during the holidays. And now, especially with the new year, because there are all these New Year resolutions, and where you just maybe are on it for a week and then not, or you're just doing a vision board, and it literally does not change anything because if you just sit there and wait for something to happen, it's never going to happen. You need to make it happen. You never need to surrender. You actually need to take more radical responsibility to make something happen. And with intuition, you can go in and actually look what is missing or what is not. So, yeah, we'll soon have something there coming up for you guys because it's one of the most essential tools. But what we want to focus on today is holidays and all of the emotional pressure with it. And we thought, what better day than literally before New Year, in between after Christmas, because depending on how your Christmas went, you already know that maybe something needs to change a little bit in your emotional balance and just how your nervous system is. And sorry if my voice is a bit scratchy, I got a bit of a sinus. Just a little one, like really little one, which I need to shift before it gets into a full blown. But that's another thing. It's a reflection. And I think at this point, you guys all know what reflections are. But if it's your first time listening in, reflection is if you're out of balance with unconditional love within yourself, or just like what your soul self, your higher self, desires with you, if you have any limiting beliefs. And I'm sharing that with you guys because I don't want you to think I never have reflections. Like, it's a reflection city over here sometimes because I can only have something for like one thought and I instantly get a reflection. And it's just really, I need to shift things faster, and my higher self is really putting that on to really train me to instantly shift it in the second it happens. So here we are. If something happened where I wasn't really rooted to my words this morning and I instantly got a bit of a sinus infection, and I'm going to shift it today because I'm not dealing with a sinus infection or just like being sick over New Year. That's not going to happen. So let's get back to how holidays are considered a special time, but it really, really shows you how your nervous system is and how emotionally balanced you are. Now we have a whole thing with like birthdays they are supposed to be us being celebrated, and Christmas being all of us coming together because of like Christ and just like enjoying family, and then New Year's Eve or just New Year bringing in a fresh energy and just new hope. You could say it's kind of like about that. Then Valentine's Day with bringing love and just relationships. But for most people, all of these holidays just don't feel really light, and they just show how much stress you have, like how your nervous system is dysregulated and just activated all the time. We get into what this means. So instead of like joy and just being able to be calm and emotionally balanced about whatever it happens, you're just feeling your whole body is tensed and overwhelmed. A lot before Christmas especially, so many people are overwhelmed with, I have to do this and this and this and this and this. Like, I have to buy this present, I have to go run some errands, buy groceries, I don't know, cook a whole meal. And just all of these expectations people have from you. And so instead of like inner peace and just being rooted, most people will feel like they are not enough. And hardly anyone speaks about how these special days can be really burdening for a lot of people. And on the outside, a lot of people will then pretend to be happy, to smile, and when you're... Let's take, for example, just Christmas, because we just had Christmas. Let's remember back to how your Christmas went. You probably had, like, the feeling of you need to spend Christmas with your family. And if you're in a relationship, then the question was with which family, or like one day with that family, then the next day with the other family. A lot of stress. You had to be at like 6 points, like 6 different cities or whatever. It kind of felt like that, most likely. Or you just spent, if they're not around very near to you, you spent traveling there, like a lot of time just to travel there and then spend a few days there. Now, maybe that felt a bit overwhelming, very much stress-like, and just forced as well, because you already know how it will go. You probably thought, oh, they're going to question me about if you're single, then your grandparents or someone will question you why you're still single, or your aunts like will ask you why are you still single, or if you just started a business, so how's your little business going, or anything like that, or you're still studying, or you're working in your 9 to 5. There's just so much things that could bring you tensions if you're not emotionally balanced or you have your nervous system regulated. Because your nervous system will think you're getting attacked, and it will pump all the blood in your logical, like in your brain. It will pump it into all of your other limbs. So you can either fight, flight, or freeze. Literally. That's like the options you have to react to something like that. Which will then show up as you reacting negatively to a question that maybe could have been very much neutral, but you think they're attacking you. So you could be blowing up on the Christmas table, or you could just bite your tongue and not say anything, and then afterwards, now a few days afterwards, you're still thinking about how you should have said this exact thing to that question or the accusation, whatever it was. Or God forbid, think about if your grandma or your grandpa just brought up politics on the Christmas table, and everyone, because they're not neutral about it, they instantly blew up, and you have like this opinion and then the quite opposite, and then there's just huge chaos and so much dysregulation, and just it does not feel good. Like, if your nervous system is not calm and you can't regulate your emotions in the moment, you're going to feel literally like you're dying on this table and you just want it over. Literally, you just want to be able to leave this and be over with the holidays. And instead of it being something really, really joyful, that you get to have off and just enjoy your day with your whole family. And I get it. Oh my god, I get it. Because my Christmases used to be... Is that even the word, Christmases? I don't know. I guess so. They used to be like that. So, for me, I used to have a huge problem with, like, my grandparents. I very much wasn't healed or neutral about what happened with them, and, like, the whole family tree being out of whack. Like, so much has happened there. And it really took me a long time. And I especially had a lot of problems with my grandma. Like, there were so much things I was not healed yet from. And I always thought she doesn't like me. And just what has happened in the whole childhood, and she never wanting us to be with her, and like, there's a whole history on it, as usual. So I always hated Christmas because of that. Like, I used to love Christmas really much, but I hated having to go to them and be with family. This time we changed it and they came to us, and it was amazing because, first of all, I now really love her. I unconditionally love her. I know why she behaved the way she did. Like, all of that, I was able to neutralize my whole emotions with her, with what happened, rather, with all of the trauma about that. And really seeing the source perspective, so unconditionally loving her, no matter how she behaves, because I know where it comes from, and just, I know she's just reflecting me. So if I have some limiting beliefs about myself, my creative field is going to make her, influence her, give her the script of how she needs to behave towards me, which is so much, like, there's so much relief with that, because I know I have full control over my reality and I can change how she behaves towards me. And this time it was completely different. It was also last year already. Like, I've already did a lot of work there. And last year was also amazing. But this year I've really focused on all of that. On emotional regulation, on my nervous system. And the work paid off so much. We did not have one thing that could blow up or something, or me getting triggered. Not at all. Even with outing myself here, I think I've said it before, or was it in one of the workshop or courses? I think it was in a workshop, Rewire workshop, where I said it. I have this thing with chewing noises. I can't stand them. Literally not. I need to dive into that reflections at some point. I have bigger fishes to fry, like bigger goals I want to focus on right now, so I did not have time for that. I mean, not just a cute, oh, I can't stand chewing noises. No, I mean a volcano erupting at level 10, taking out a whole town, city, civilization type of I can't stand chewing noises. And because of the tools I have, I could instantly neutralize it in the moment. I felt at some point getting myself a bit triggered by it, like, the bit of anger rising up, instantly neutralized it. And I was neutral. I did not have to blow up or feel the tension and just like tense my whole body so I don't get angry and explode. Literally did not have that anymore because I have the source tools to regulate myself in the moment and have been calming down my nervous system for so long. So it does not think I'm getting attacked and I'm literally dying there anymore, which means I don't have to react in a way I would regret in the future. Because if I would blow up with that, I would instantly regret it. Because you can't just blow up on people all the time. People don't want that. They don't want you then around anymore. And I used to be, oh my god, I used to be so grumpy. When I was like 17, I used to be so grumpy in the morning. Do not talk to me for at least like 2-3 hours. And my friends, I was known for that, which is so bad. Like, I'm so grateful they still wanted me around because at that point, I didn't see it that much. Like, I had so much trauma, so much happening to me. But now, completely different. I don't have to be grumpy in the morning anymore because I'm excited about life. I don't need to be that grumpy volcanic eruption. I don't know what to say, like that little grumpy thing, woman that just blows up with everything. I had so much anger within myself. You can't understand how much anger. Well, I mean, physically I got some serious chronic illnesses from it, so you can imagine how much anger I had inside of me. So yeah, it gives you so much freedom when you actually can regulate your emotions, really balance them out in the moment, and also your nervous system, because they're tied together. Your emotions going to put pressure on your nervous system and everything will be just volcanic eruption. I think that's one of the best ways to describe it, because it's like one stone thrown at it and just volcano eruption. Picture volcano eruption out of me. Like out of yourself. Yeah. So it's really not the date that will give you that whole high emotion. It's the feelings behind it. It's the emotions behind of it. And you're not getting triggered in the moment because of the thing that has happened. You're getting triggered because something is stored in your mind, in your neurons, in your subconscious, that has happened years ago. Something or months ago. And then you get triggered because it reminds your mind of that. Your nervous system is trained to then react a certain way because of the old wounds, like of the conditioning, the memories you have, and then you react that way, which you will regret. I mean, also talk about like birthdays. You are meant to be celebrated, but you're not feeling like you're enough or you should be celebrated. You haven't done enough to be celebrated. Or you don't like to be seen. What do you mean I have to be in front of people and then blow out candles and they sing for me? Like, all of these things, they're limiting beliefs, like the emotions you have stored in your body. And then your nervous system, all the blood drains from your brain, so no logical reason. Intuition, say goodbye, bye-bye. And all of the logical reason, just everything. And you just can only react. And your nervous system is getting shaped also by your family, and they did not know better themselves. They did not have the tools either. So it's just something that has happened. And especially with family, it's like you go back into your teenager self or child self and you just react the way you would have then. Because you have those memories stored in your brain. You have your whole nervous system is trained to it. Your emotions are trained to it. And it's just one huge overwhelm. And one single sentence or even just a look can set you up. And now, tomorrow, there's going to be the new year. Well, that puts so much pressure on you as well, because all of the New Year's Eve resolutions, like, oh my god, I need to lose 10 kilograms this year, I need to get a boyfriend, I need to be engaged, or I need to achieve that financial goal. And it's like a checkpoint of how much you've changed in a year. All of that pressure. And then you go and judge yourself instead of seeing how much has actually changed. Because I can tell you there is so much that has changed inside of you. But there's like, oh my god, sorry. Me getting agitated. No, there's like 20 things that have happened that were negative, but there's like 100 reasons why it's amazing. But your brain will focus on the 20 negatives, on what hasn't changed yet, what you haven't achieved yet, instead of seeing how much has actually already changed and how much you've achieved. Because I can tell you, intuitively looking in, everyone who's listening to this, you have changed so much. There's so many things. I could tell you 100 things that have changed, and that's on the low number. It's like so much proof that you could look into. But no, rather you focus on what hasn't changed, what goal you have not yet really checked off, be able to check off. And then you get dissatisfied with you and you judge yourself for it. Instead of seeing, oh, that's the best thing, I now know what is missing, what I can change to actually reach the goal. And I've learned so much more than if I would have just gone from A to B and reached the goal within 2 weeks. Like, there's so much going into it and so much soul growth that you had. And most New Year's resolutions are from an ego point. It's not a hot desire. It's a feeling of you need to become better. You need to be enough finally. And just all of that pressure. Instead of going, okay, what does my soul want? Like, what's truly a hot desire I want in this lifetime? And now focusing on it. Because I'm telling you also, financial goal, it will be a hot desire, but at this moment, it's an ego desire. Because you feel you're not good enough for that huge goal you have. And then your nervous system is just aggregated, your emotions are high, and just so much pressure. Instead of being just easy and it being a lesson. This morning I ran some errands, like I went grocery shopping. And oh my god, people were so stressed. Literally, I had a guy push his shopping cart like maniac, literally, like into things because he was so stressed. And he grabbed the apples. There was no one around him with the apples, but he grabbed it like there's a famine and he can't ever get some apples anymore. And I was like, whoa, you, sir, need to calm your nervous system. Like, you're putting so much pressure on yourself. That will go into very, very serious illnesses. And it's like, if you would do it from a balanced way, you don't have pressure. Because let me tell you, that man and me went into grocery shopping at the same time, and I was finished before him because I was calm. I was just doing my little grocery shopping for New Year's and just a whole week, you know. I was calm. I was just getting my things, even if there were so many people around me being stressed and everything. I did not let myself get stressed because why? It's just grocery shopping. I have more than enough time for that. Let me tell you, it just takes me like 30 minutes. I don't get stressed about that. Like, it's 8 a.m. Please calm down. Like, we don't need to be that stressed, but you can't have that if you don't have the tools. And I don't want you to live like that. Seriously, I don't want you to have to live like that. Or, like, because those tools are really non-negotiable. And now, think about tomorrow, today, whatever, whenever you're listening to this. Instead of feeling the pressure of a new year, you can be excited. You already know you're going to hit your goals, or you set the goals so big you don't even have to hit them because you know it will expose you, like, the gaps you need. Which is amazing. You don't put pressure on yourself and have to hit them from an ego point, because you already know you're more than enough. And when Valentine's Day rolls around, and if you're single or if you're in a relationship and actually want to have a fulfilling relationship, maybe your man or your woman, like if you're a man here, I don't know, and just your partner, when they treat you and they just will spoil you, literally will spoil you on Valentine's Day, instead of how it has been the last few years or last year. You have, like, you can just go into these holidays feeling calm, knowing who you are, being like rooted in that, and just instantly neutralize and calming down your system, your nervous system in the moment. And that all comes down to emotional balance and knowing how to regulate your nervous system. You don't have to please someone else. You know your first priority, and people will reflect that back to you. They will reflect it because they're just mirrors to you. Your creative field hands them the script how you want to be treated. And if you have emotional balance, it's going to be amazing. They will no longer have to act back that anger within you or anything that is out of unconditional love with yourself. So all of the exhaustion, irritability, or like the emotional shutdown, all of that does not have to happen. You literally don't have to live like that. Just a mirror, we can neutralize it. We can regulate your nervous system, and you can then experience the holidays way differently. Without all of the pressure or the comparison to someone else because, oh my god, look at your cousin, she's doing so much better. She's like that A+, I don't know, that what you would want your daughter to be. No, because you're exactly the way you should have been made. Like, your soul did not make any mistakes, literally, or Source. You're also part of Source. Literally did not make any mistakes, and it's time to see that. And it all starts with the emotional regulation and the nervous system, because on that basis is where we then can build the neurons you want. So the subconscious, like what is stored in there, the neurons, the neural pathways in your brain to actually have the life you want. Because if your nervous system is so high and your emotion is so high, you will not be able to rewire your neurons the way you want it to. This is literally a non-negotiable tool. And that's also why we did our workshop on emotional balance and nervous system regulation called Rewire Workshop. And it's still you can still sign up for it and it will change your life. These tools will actually really change your life. Give you finally the calm and peace in all of the holidays, also on a daily basis, of course, because that's really our goal for you to be able to live a calm and peaceful life. And even if a storm comes, you can calmly go through it and have the logical brain and your intuition access to it, all of these things, to be able to handle it without pressure, without any of the stress, without any of the fight or flight of your system being in it. So we have a lot of tools for you in our workshop already, or in a one-on-one coaching if you also want that. You really want that one-on-one session for you to have the biggest transformation in the shortest time possible. So whatever it is, I really wish you an amazing new year. Celebrate yourself. Have all the tools necessary to regulate your emotions, to be able to enjoy it, because your soul came here to enjoy life. Have the soul growth, but also enjoy life. Enjoy the physical. Enjoy the celebrations. And that's what it is all about. So, I really, really wish you a happy new year and see you next week.